first of all, we have a welcome from the Dean of the Faculty of Economics. Please.
Thank you, Paul. Well, very welcome to the School of Economics of the University of Valencia. Very welcome to Valencia, to Spain, and very welcome to the University of Valencia. Well, dear members of the project MESOC, as a Dean of the Faculty of Economics of the University of Valencia, it's my pleasure to be part of this kick-off meeting between the members of the project and other European experts. This meeting has been organized by ECONCULT. My congratulations. ECONCULT, as you probably know, is a very active group of research in economics of culture and tourism of the Department of Applied Economics of the University of Valencia that analyze the relationship between individuals and culture. This group is also interested in the relationship between the cultural and creative activities and the social, economic, and political dynamics of communities and territories. This group has built a very dense network of relationships between organizations, companies, and academic and non-academic institutions from both Europe, Asia, and Latin America. In addition, ECONCULT is an active agent in the rehabilitation of culture and creativity at the territorial level, being responsible of many initiatives at local, regional, and national level. ECONCULT, as you probably know, has celebrated recently the 20 years anniversary, and he has a very good reputation because has participated as a partner in many international projects like this project, MESOC. MESOC is the last international project participated by ECONCULT. It is a research and innovation action designed to propose, test, and validate an innovative and original approach to measure the social value and impact of cultural related with the three cross-cutting themes of the new European Agenda for Culture. I mean, health and well-being, urban and territorial renovation, and commitment and participation. And I want to congratulate to ECONCULT and all the participants of the project. I would like to begin this speech with some thanks. First, I would like to congratulate the local organizing committee, especially to my colleague and friend Pau Raussel, professor at the Faculty of Economics, for the organization and coordination of the meeting. And thank you also for choosing the faculty, his faculty of the University of Valencia as a center for this kick-off meeting. But I would also like to extend my thanks to the other members of the consortium, such as the Polytechnic Universities of Milan, Barcelona, Rijeka, and Valencia, the consultancy specialized in culture, KEA, European Affairs, the French Office for the Promotion of the European Projects, Relais Cultural Europe, DAEM, the public company ET from the city of Athens, the communication company World Crunch, and the city of Rijeka and Cluj-Napoca, Romania. Certainly a representation of nations with extraordinary cultural richness. I am convinced of the success of the project, mainly by the quality of the members, but also for their cultural diversity. The synergy between culture is not only synonymous with competitive advantage, but also add value on the works, as long as the objective to be achieved is common to all. And finally, I would like to take a minute to introduce the Faculty of Economics. I'm the Dean, so I need to present my faculty, our faculty. It's a young faculty. 2 years ago, we celebrated the 50 years anniversary. It's practically it's very young compared with the 500 years of the University of Valencia, 520 years, more specifically. But in these 52 years of anniversary, we have become a center, an excellent center in a magnificent university. This leadership position of the Faculty of Economics is not only from a quantitative point of view. We have around 8,000 students. We have around 500 researchers in this building. So not only from the quantitative perspective, but also from the qualitative point of view. I will give you some figures. Among the institutions in the field of economic and business in Spain, our faculty is the first according to the Shanghai rank. And we are among the 150 institutions in the world, according to this rank. And there are more than 17,000 universities in the world. And recently, one of these ranks certified that our faculty is the leader in Spain in terms of employability. I am also very proud to say that this faculty is leader in Europe in terms of specialization. We have every year around 1,500 international students, 750 incoming, 750 outgoing. I hope that these days you have been able to enjoy with our city, Valencia. I assume that Pau Rousey and the organization has organized some visits to some cultural aspects and some emblematic monuments of the city. And I wish to reiterate my congratulations to the organizers, to the collaborators, and the participants in this kick-off meeting, and I wish the best for the success of the MESOC project. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
this welcome, and we will inform you how goes the project.
Thank you to all of you. Bye.
Well, now this is not a very easy meeting because we have to break the ice. I don't know if the expression is correct, at least in Spanish is to break the ice. I don't know. So first of all, I'm going to present the main players here. Well, we are Econcult. I'm going to make some presentation about our research unit to build up the confidence of all the partners that with this project will be very successful. So because we are very strong partners, the partnership is very good. So at the beginning we are going to present this research unit. Then, well, I will present you Francesco Molinari, that will be the real boss of the project. So I only for dancing, but when you have real problems or real questions, please go to Francesco. We have a long relationship with Francesco Molinari till now, and so he will manage the project. He will be the project manager, and I will to present our team. Please, Sandy, Girardi, please stand up. Sandy, Girardi, Jordi is the other boss. Jordi is the person that has sent all your mails in the Basecamp platform. Raúl is a researcher from the research unit, and who is more here. At this moment there are no more people from but I will introduce you in this day. If you have some problems, logistic problems, or you need something, or you please tell one of us, and we try to solve your problems. I hope this is not a very hard task because you are all smart people, and there will be no problems. Thank you very much. And well, we have two places. Anyway, we are going to use this space, this room, for these days. But we have another room here just beside. That is the room where is our office. That is part of our office. This is the 2P05 room. And then we have another room, just the 2P01 room. This is a bigger space. So if you need a table to work, or you need what you need, please tell us, and we can use all these facilities. And of course, if you have, if you need to print something, or please tell us, and we will. I think that the Wi-Fi works. Yes, no problem. So. We have a problem, we have no power, but we are solving it. We have just bought some I don't know the name, we call it here PIF, in Spanish, ladrones. Anyway, we are going to solve this and to put places to give power to you. So, well, first of all, I want to present the research unit of Econcult. Well, till now we don't have an official logo of the project, so we are going to use some different, depending on the inventive of the presenters. But the next day we will solve which will be the definitive brand of the project. Well, we are a research unit with 20 years of existence. We begin in the 1999. So when we began, then there is no one more than Luis in the University of Barcelona working on cultural economics. So as a research unit in a university 25 years ago when we met them, and so this has been a very good process because we were pioneers in this field of cultural economics, but otherwise it was also difficult because it was not easy to exchange information and work with other projects. Well, what we do is try to research, to know, to try to understand what happens in the relation between individual and communities and the symbolic realm and the cultural sectors, but not only in the market cultural sectors, but in all the symbolic dimension of the communities. Our approach is from the economic, but we are not. We can say we are not orthodox economists, so, and we use with a lot of intensity the approach of sociology and anthropology and geography and so on. So we are very wide, open-minded economists. But our main point of view is from the economic point of view. We use more or less the epistemological approach of the economics, but we are open to other sides. So, to build up this confidence in our leadership is to try to convince you that we are more or less experienced, well, we have more or less experience in European projects. So we have a trajectory in the last more or less 10, 11 years that we begin with European projects, and we begin with some of partners here like Relais. We began with the Sostenuto project in 2009. That was a project between 2009 and 2012. That was the leadership was Relais. No, Ami. Sorry. But Relais was very active in this project, and so we have connection with Relais from this moment, no? And then we have many other projects, mainly in the MED program, in the MED call for interregional cooperation. And we always around culture and creativity. We have Creative MED, where we met with Francesco and other partners here. And then we have CC for incubators, that is about entrepreneurship in the cultural and creative sectors. And then we have a very interesting project founded by the ASEF, that was an exchange between experience between cultural managers in Asia and cultural managers in Europe. Then we work with Tony, for instance, in this project. And then we have two more MED projects. One is Open Doors, about sharing economy and then another one that was called, that is just finished now, that is Creative Wear, that is about the connection between the creative and cultural sectors and the textile sector. So, and we work with Prato, with other partners here. Then a very interesting project that is Transmaking is the first Horizon 2020 project. It's a project that found mobility between staff of the organization, and we are, if I don't remember bad, Raúl Aveledo is the leader of this, the main researcher of this project from MESOC, and it's a project about exchange of mobility of staff between organizations. We are 20 partners from Chile to north of Africa, with the University of Yunnan, that we have a close contact, and this project is basically about new narratives and the role of culture and creativity to build these new narratives around or what means or around Europe and so on. And we have a lot of partners here that are partners also in this project, like Relais.
Now is the leader. Now Relais is the leader.
Now, yes, in this project Relais is the leader, okay? So we have a lot of relationships. Then we have another Horizon 2020 very nice project, that is the Sciencescapes. That is more or less the project manager is also Francesco Molinari. It's about the role of design as enabler of innovation in urban areas or in cities. This is a project that will finish next year in 2021, so it's a Horizon project that we have some experience about the rules and the way to work in this Horizon 2020 projects. Then we have another project that is called CHEBEC, where Raúl is the main researcher, that is about internationalization of cultural and creative sectors. CHEBEC was a boat from the pirates. Yes. Yes, and this is the under name of the project is
Cultural and creative organizations for hacking the European economy.
For hacking to use the cultural and creative sectors for hacking the European Med regions or economy of the Med region. And then we succeed with this Horizon 2020, this last project. That is MESOC. Now Francesco will introduce it, but and we begin now with this new project. So the message is that we have more or less some experience in managing European projects, so be calm and it will work very well. Well, outside from these European projects, we are very active also in many regional and national projects, and for instance, around this design project, we collaborate to build the candidacy of Valencia to become World Design Capital for the 2022. So with the theoretical approach from the Sciencescapes, we collaborate with the city and we succeed. So Valencia will be the World Design Capital in 2022. But we have done also, for instance, the regional strategic plan for cultural policies in 2015. So there is a political change, very big political change in 2015 here in the region of Valencia, in the city of Valencia, and there is a kind of change of regime in local terms, and we plan the cultural policy of the new government, and we try to push with other projects from the city, like the 200 cultural and creative brokers band that probably will explain it a little bit tomorrow, or it's in the agenda. So we are a group that we are very active in the local and regional questions around culture and creativity and so on. And then we have another exotic project like to collaborate in a project in Burkina Faso to attend or to assist with expertise in the maintaining or developing of the cultural and creative sectors in Burkina Faso. Now is not a very good moment for Burkina Faso, but we are there. So and then we have a very close relationships with other companies and organizations and so on. So this is more or less, we are a small team, in fact, with a legal contract in the university, we are only Raúl and me, but within these all projects, there pass a lot of people that sometimes we have no way to maintain here when the project is finished, and they go out, but they stay here. And we can be in the moment of more activity in the research unit, we can be 12, 13, 15, it depends on the contract, on people in internship and people doing the PhD and so on, as is the case. So that's what we are. I'm going to ask now if we can make a round and you explain who you are, so we can have all the information from each partner or each expert from the advisory board or from the cities. If you don't mind, we begin a round and you explain, use the time that you want to use, and you explain who are you and what are you doing. And
well, good morning. My name is Susanna. I am from the city.
Can you speak a little louder?
I'm Susanna from the city of Rijeka, and as it's obvious, we will act as a partner. What is interesting about us right now, we are titled as the European Capital of Culture 2020, and the opening was 2 days ago. So I suppose in this project we can also act, let's say, as a living lab for many of the activities, because we will have during this year a very vivid program with lots of different kind of performances and other stuff. So we will be possible to explain another layer of that performances in line with the activities and goals of our program. So I suppose it's really very interesting that we somehow started at the very same time, because ECOC started and MESOC started at the same day. And of course, another important thing is that we are already partners in lots of programs. I will mention only two that are closely related to the MESOC. We are partners in a CLIck project. It's also a Horizon funded project. And we are dealing with cultural roots, with adaptive reuse of the heritage. In this project, we already have some interesting results as perception mapping, as cultural roots. So we will try to incorporate already ongoing programs and projects with the MESOC activities. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Nenad Lazaric. I'm also from City of Rijeka. And as Susanna told almost everything that is crucial for City of Rijeka in this project, I will just add that I will be also responsible for project communication and in part of our duties in this project.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ante. I'm also from the City of Rijeka. I'm a head of finance department, and obviously I will be the financial part of the project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi to everybody. My name is Verena. I'm head of the city office. I work in the same department with Susanna. And as Susanna told you, we are partners in 6 different projects at the moment. So we have some experience, and I will be here with Susanna to help.
Good morning, my name is Tony Murphy. I am the director of Cultural Link. It's a cultural consultancy based in the Canary Islands and in Valencia. We have a working relationship with Cultural Link for more than 18 years, and we are members of the advisory board. And we have an interesting and rich relationship with lots of the people sitting on this table. So for the most of you, I hope it's another step forward in our relationship.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Martin Nelson. I'm a senior researcher at Smith in the Vrije Universiteit Brussels. We are doing user research, policy analysis, business analysis of the for my side of the media sectors and a bit also the creative industries. And more personally, I'm part of the advisory board here. The more I hear about the project, the more I'm really interested to hear more, and I hope I can give some useful advices. First, because you said you are a department where you do heterodox economics, which is exactly how I would define myself, especially a few years ago, so quite happy to always meet heterodox economists working on the culture. And the other thing is that I'm very interested always in all the aspect of measuring culture, especially in my work. I've applied it to innovation, diversity aspects, and really interested to see how it works in this project.
Good morning, I'm Julie Hervé from Eurocities. It's a European network of large cities. We're based in Brussels. I've been a network for, I think, 35 years and grouped together 180 large municipalities in Europe. Valencia, not yet, but we're working on it, thanks to
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. No pressure. I'm a senior policy advisor. I work on local cultural policies, ranging from cultural heritage to creative industries. Eurocities is involved in a H2020 big research project called ROC on transforming historical areas through cultural heritage. We are also just launching now a service contract for the European Commission called Cultural Heritage in Action with my colleagues from CARA. And it's a peer learning program for cities and regions to learn from each other on cultural heritage, so I might come back to that later on. And we are also involved in the Urban Partnership on Culture and Cultural Heritage. We are a member of the advisory board and subcontractor for MESOC, so our role will be to connect your project and your research to additional cities through specific workshops.
Hello, I'm Dimitra Tsokanika. I'm from DAEM. DAEM is the IT company of the municipality of Athens. The municipality of Athens is the main shareholder of DAEM, but we are a private company. We support the municipality in terms of software and hardware, and also we develop other services and e-government tools for the municipality and other municipalities. And we participate about 10 years in European projects. And, I am with my colleague Ilya. We participate in this project.
Hello from me as well. I'm Ilya Stadoni from DAEM again, from the city of Athens. And we will be one of the pilot cities on engagement and participation. We hope that we will bring all the history and cultural activities of Athens to the project.
Good morning, I'm Philippe Temudo Barate, as you can check my name here. I'm from the University of Évora in Portugal, and I'm a shareholder of a UNESCO chair for many years ago. I really don't remember the date where I have this. And I'm a member of the advisory board here. It is, I imagine because I have a lot of kilometers in my legs, so thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ilaria Fusoni. I'm here on behalf of the Department of Architecture and Urban Studies of the Polytechnic of Milan. I am a member of a research team led by Professor Grazia Concilia. She can't be with us today, but she will join me tomorrow. We mainly focus on innovation in urban environments and urban context of the cities. And we are involved in several European projects, and we will lead Brooklyn 5, so we are very much looking forward to getting you all and all the 10 cities involved in the project.
Hi, I'm Lillian Wagner. I'm here on behalf of World Crunch with Jeff, and currently we're on the Designscapes project leading WP6, so we come to this project. We're excited to work with you all and see what we can offer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Israeli, and I'm co-founder and editor of World Crunch, and we're both a media and a communication agency. And as a media, you know, we work with press from all around the world, translating their stories into English. We're an English language media based in Paris. So we spend half of our time looking to reach a broad audience, which is part of what we want to do here. But as a communication agency, we also work with clients to understand the specificity of their projects and of their message, and figuring out how to reach their audiences. So we're going to be working on the communication on this project, and look forward to it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mathilde Vasseur. I work at Relais Culture Europe as head of communication, and the mission of Relais Culture Europe is to help French cultural operators to develop European cooperation projects. We are Creative Europe desk for France too, and in this project we will be in charge of communication and research.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Esther, Assistant Communication at Relais Culture.
Hello, my name is Fabienne Trott. I am working also at Relais Europe. On the side of research, we are coordinating the Transmaking project. And for 2 years now, we have also a specific mission by the French Ministry of Culture to support the research organizations dealing with culture and art to network at EU level through Horizon 2020.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Rarița Branca from Cluj Culture Center in Cluj in Romania. Our organization is an NGO. The members of the organizations are the local governments, so the municipalities, the regional council, the universities in the city, and the cultural organizations in the city. And we were originally born to lead the bid of the city of Cluj for the European Capital of Culture title. We did not win the title as such, but we had a local commitment to really implement the program. So our organization is actually on the long run implementing the program that we designed for the city, for developing the city through culture. And our mission is to mobilize culture for local development. And we are also part of various European projects. One of them is on the future of work, is an urban innovation, urban innovative action project. And in this consortium we are a pilot city for the topic of health and well-being, and this is a topic that we are already engaged into other projects.
I'm Boris Koch from the Department of the University of Rijeka, and I've been included in designing of the repository documents platform and tools for semantic analysis.
Thank you.
I'm Patricia Boščić. I'm also from the Department of Informatics, University of Rijeka. Actually, I'm the head of the department, and with my colleagues, we will be, let's say, responsible for the IT part of this program.
Hello, I am Montserrat Pareja. I belong to the team of the University of Barcelona. I am also involved in other projects, European projects, on creative industries and cultural tourism, or 2 different projects.
Luis Bonet, as well, University of Barcelona. We are in this the School of Economics and Business, like the team PAU. So we are as well heterodox economists that we want to work with other social scientists. The group that will work from our university in this project is probably Montserrat and me, but you will see that there are as well Ana Villarroya. She's as well a professor in our department, and she's more focused on gender studies and cultural issues. And there will be also Gianna Calvano, that is an Italian young researcher who is working with us as well. She was working in a previous Horizon 2020 project that we just finished last November, so she's ready for starting this new one on 1st of February. So we are going from one Horizon 2020 to another one Horizon 2020. So, and we are very pleased to be here with all this great team of people.
So, good morning, my name is Radi and I'm a senior consultant at KA European Affairs. It's a research center and a consultancy based in Brussels, and we are specializing in culture and creative industries policy. And in the project we've been leading P6, which is indeed about policy outreach, and we're also a sports coordinator in quality insurance. And my director is here, so we'll add some more words on KA.
Thanks. So my name is Arthur Legal. I'm director at KA. So as Elisabetta said, we are specialized in culture and creative industries, and what we do is several things. We do research projects, like this one, in fact, and we are leading some other projects in that area, like Cicerone and Elucidare, which are 2 Horizon 2020 projects. But we're also working very closely, for example, with cities. So Judy mentioned this project, Cultural Heritage in Action, where we will basically develop some peer learning activities with cities to work on their cultural heritage policies. And we work also quite closely with the sector itself, with creative industries themselves. So we have funded or co-funded some leading associations in the sector. Some of them have become fully independent since then, like Impala or the European Film Companies Alliance. And we have recently started a new network which is called Be Creative, and we've got 2,500 creative businesses, trade associations and business support organizations working in the field of culture and creative industries in there. So basically, think of us as a kind of connector between, let's say, the important stakeholders working in culture and creative industries, policymakers, especially European ones, but also sometimes local ones, and of course the world of research that we are a part of, in a way. So I think that's it for myself. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to working with you guys.
Hello, my name is Francesco Molinari. I'm a freelancer, basically. Specialized in, let's say, procuring money to organizations willing to engage in European research. I've been doing that for the past 20 years, making a lot of people happy. This has made it so that I am not clearly specialized in anything. I'm more a journalist than a proper researcher, although I, from time to time, try to do something decent for my academic career, soon to be, because now life is long and I want to stay around for a while. I'm really happy to be here. I took part in the preparation of this proposal. Culture was a totally new domain for me, and I tried to interpret it in my own way based on my background. But I see many nice things coming up, and considering I will have time to explain later, I will stop here and give word to Pierluigi.
Hi, my name is Pierluigi Sacco. I am a cultural economist at IULM University in Milan. Until last November, I was the advisor of the European Commissioner for Culture, so basically my task was, among others, developing the European Agenda for Culture, that it's part of the background of this very project. I am also a faculty associate at Berkman Center for Internet and Society at Harvard University. And now that my position at the European Commission has finished, of course, with the end of the previous mandate, I'm about to take over as a senior researcher at OECD, that has a center in Venice, that is all about indicator frameworks for cultural impact. So very much connected to what we do here, and I really look forward to possible connections. I am also the scientific coordinator of another Horizon 2020 project called Indices, that has to do with the impact of the digital sphere on the social impact of culture. So again, very much connected project, and I really hope that there will be significant synergies. Here I am part of the advisory committee.
My name is Amparo Oliver. As I said, I am also happy to be here as my company. I was invited by Pau to push the methodology, the quantitative methods, and also because of our background in health and well-being. We are also professors in the University of Valencia. Currently, I'm the director of the research group. The name is ARMAC, is the acronym of Applied Research Methods. Advanced research methods applied to quality of life promotion. So I think we think that we can contribute to the project, not in the applied field of culture, rather in the link between health and well-being and culture. We hope so. And my colleagues are Irene Fernandez and Jose Manuel Tomás. Also, I don't know if they
I really don't want to add anything. I'm professor of statistics, and I'm also an expert in well-being.
Our first objective is especially to contribute in the objective of doing publications in the project.
Thank you. So, everyone introduced. Now I give the floor to Francesco to hear what the officer wants to tell us for these projects.
So going to the apologies, we have the apology here of the project officer, Mr. Petri Bachmann from the European Commission. He sent me 52 slides for his presentation. I took the decision of presenting only the first 8 of them. But we will find the slides useful during tomorrow's meeting, because they are a lot about administrative and financial talk, which is not for today, like I said a while ago. We also have the apologies of the city of Warsaw and the city of Turku. They have been a bit slow in reacting. I saw some exchanges with Jordi, but in the very end they couldn't manage to come. I hope that they are connected during the day through this web conferencing system, so that they can get acquainted with the contents and the goals of the project as remote participants in this meeting. I also have the apology of Jesse Marsh, another member of the advisory board, who wrote a nice letter, because now he moved towards Greta in his vision of how things should happen. So instead of moving himself to this place, he decided to send a letter. And so I will take some time to read this letter during the day, probably in the afternoon. But I would also like to cordially invite each of you, in case you have any presentation that you would like to share, feel free to do that during the day when you think it is more appropriate. For example, I know that our colleagues from the city of Rijeka have prepared something to us, unless I am mistaken, to present what they are planning to do during the year of 2020 in terms of program for the activities of cultural capital. Is that so?
So we prepared a kind of presentation, but the program is so rich for it. I think the best thing to do is I can share a link to the program book and you can open it because it's, and I suppose we will talk about living in Rijeka.
We will also talk about that.
Yes. So we will have a more than a nice opportunity to
Anyway, this is not a structured meeting, so if you think that showing one slide, for example, can be useful, feel free, and we will...
yes, we have a short film, it's about 1 minute, about the capital.
So let's talk about that over lunch, so that in the afternoon we can have the film copied onto this desktop. And also for any other participant willing to share a few slides on what they are doing, if they think it is related, we are totally free, and we would like to promote your active participation in today's meeting. Having said that, let's go to the slides from Mr. Bachmann. Yesterday I got the news that he was born in Croatia, just for your information. I don't know if it's true, but this is the latest rumor. Let's see. Maybe like this. Let's see how it works. Okay. So it was a long presentation, like I said, but I wanted to make it very short. This gentleman works for the Research Executive Agency. I think you are all familiar with that. It's an agency owned by the European Commission, doing several tasks, mainly focused on the implementation of granted programs and projects. It has a very complex structure, and in particular, Mr. Bachmann works for Unit B3, having to do with making European societies more inclusive, innovative, and reflective. You see how many related goals, including also topics like migration, integration, demographic change, human rights, up to cultural heritage. The call we belong to was also linked to other activities like the co-creation series of calls, and in particular, sorry, it's a bit clumsy here, the Transformations 8 call we were successfully in foresaw the granting of 3 projects. So our project plus 2 more. And these 2 are relevant to mention, can be found here. Tomorrow I will comment on those 2 projects in more detail, but here the most important thing to mention is that the Uncharted project is coordinated by the University of Barcelona. I guess another research team than yours, Luis, or maybe the same.
You very well. It's a colleague.
Okay, so considering that the clear mandate from Mr. Bachmann is to cluster with these 2 projects, you see that starting date of both projects is the 1st of February. So sooner or later, during this week or next week, they will also have their kick-off meeting. One of the 2, the Invent, has the same duration, so we are perfectly aligned. The other project is even longer, 1 year longer. we are the only 3 projects funded under this call, it makes a lot of sense to start interacting. We at least have for the Uncharted project the opportunity to ask Luis and his team to get closer to them. Tomorrow I will try to do a sort of auction asking you guys whom you may know in the team that belongs to the Invent project, chaired by Erasmus University and with a number of additional partners you may be familiar with or know about. I think I can stop here. Yes, I can stop here. There was this announcement which I suppose was important to make. So I will conclude the first part of Mr. Bachmann's presentation with this announcement concerning the imminent deadline of the 12th of March for proposals in related areas under the code SC6 of the current work package. Any question or comment? Otherwise, I will move to the first presentation, which is about the rules of the game for today. Like I said, it should be, there's something wrong here. It's not my, it's not my heart.
Some rhythm.
It's not my heart.
So.
Okay. Like I said, let's hope today will be a pleasant day for everyone. I mentioned to some colleague that for me today is the fun day, but not only that, it is a day that can be considered the most important day of this 3 years project, because it is the day when everybody's here like a blank page, ready to be filled in with shared contents and aims and objectives and to-dos for the coming 3 years. So it's a very important day to align each other to the project aims, and we will try to make it also a pleasant opportunity for exchanging ideas. So today our goal is to reach a common understanding among us of what the project is about, its goals, its expected results. We want to achieve this goal by igniting a focus group-like discussion where all participants are expected to have their say. I don't know how familiar you are with the methodology of focus groups. The facilitator of a focus group is mandated to ask for the opinion of each and every participant in the focus group. I'm not saying that I will ask each of you to step into the discussion, but it is highly recommended that this should happen today. Especially we are interested in questions, not answers, because we start from something that is a bit like carved on stone, because it's the contract with the European Commission we all signed, but the contract only sets the principles and the rules of operation. As far as the contents are concerned, they depend very much on the interpretation of those who are asked to implement them. So this is why it is important to align each other to a common understanding and to solve any doubt or concern that can arise as early as possible in this project. So our commitment, my commitment, will be to deliver a short presentation that summarizes the project according to the DOA. This will be my next and last presentation for today. But I am ready to stop and listen and receive your comments and questions and so on. So let's make it interactive as it is possible. We know there are different views and standpoints and interpretations of the project. It is normal. You may have read the DOA or not. You may have your true or false impression. This is social research in the end, so every opinion is right, every opinion is valuable. What we are trying to do is to bypass the situation of these blind people who had never seen an elephant for real, and when they had the opportunity to touch it, they formed different opinions about the elephant because they couldn't see properly. So we are trying to help these people, help ourselves in bypassing the situation of the blind persons in front of the elephant and try to describe what the elephant is about in the best possible manner. Your engagement, the only requirement is to voice your opinions, like I said. Don't be shy and consider you are in such an early stage of the project that every opinion can be decisive in determining the future shape of upcoming activities. And if we are smart enough, I can promise it won't take it that much. Remember, we have the social dinner tonight. We want to be there in time. So this is the presentation. I would suggest having just 5 minutes break if you feel the need, like a cigarette break or something equivalent, and then after this break we can start with the presentation of the project and go on till the end of the meeting, unless there are questions on this first part of the presentation. Okay, I see no questions, then literally 5 minutes break, and then we will reconvene.
Literally 10 minutes.
Literally 10 minutes. That will mean 15, but never mind.